everyone, thank you so much for joining me again today on my channel. This is Amber and I'm going to be tackling some scraps today. So I did another video similar to this one that I'm going to be doing here, and I'll link it right here for you, and it was when I used one paper pad and I almost killed it, so I had just some scraps left, and I showed you how I organize and package up my scraps. So this is going to be a little bit more involved because, as you can see here, I have a ton of different scraps. They're all beautiful because they're all the Maggie Holmes paper that I have just been using lately, and I've done projects, multiple projects in the last month or two here on my channel for my Rediscover Your Stash series, and these are the scraps I have left from those collections. I've almost completely killed all three of them, which are the Carousel collection, the Willow Lane, and Flourish. So those are my Maggie Holmes collections that I'm going to be handling the scraps on today. And you know what I decided to do? I decided just to mix them all together because she does such similar styles for all her collections that I think they all complement each other so beautifully. For example, this is Carousel, this is Flourish, and this is Willow Lane. I mean, look how beautiful those three look together. So I'm gonna have categories. I'm gonna show you what I do. I kind of took you through it in that last video that I just talked about, where it was during my craft fair series last year, and I just took you through kind of how I organize my scraps, so that way I'll reach for them or I can give them to friends as little kits. But I'm so excited that you're here and you're gonna organize with me. It's gonna be so fun. I'm just hanging out. It's a Sunday night. I'm relaxing, and I've got my lamps on for the lighting. No natural lighting. It's getting dark outside, and so I got dinner in the oven, and my husband's in there watching TV, playing his PlayStation. So I decided to come in here and tackle the scraps. So I hope that you'll sit back and relax and organize with me. So what I'm going to do right now is just separate the similar size paper into the different piles, and I hope that you enjoy. I'll speed this up and set it to some music. Okay, so I've got it somewhat organized into the same size piles. So now I'm going to go through this pile again, because I think what I'll do is I'll take out all the ones that have the 12 inches intact and put those all in their own stack, because I have a ton of like this size right here that I can do in one stack. Four different piles, and I want to take these two piles here and cut them down into journaling card size. So I'll try to get some 4x6s out of these and then 3x4s out of this pile.
Say goodbye. So when you come up with this size, I mean, it's up to you, but I'm gonna say goodbye to these. That's a little pushing it, so.
So out of all that stack, I got a ton of 4x6 pieces here. Most of them are double-sided. So those are all ready in a nice neat stack, 4x6. So I'll decide what I'm going to do with these in a minute, but I want to move on to my next stack of scraps. All that paper down into 3x4 pieces. This is like Project Life card size. Most of them are double-sided. They're super pretty. All the beautiful patterns. I just love all these beautiful prints. So I'm going to stick those aside with my 4x6 stack. And I'm going to move on to this stack, which is pretty much all the same size. There's a few here that are different. So this stack right here happens to be leftovers from when I cut some paper down for a project. And so this is actually a really nice size, and I think I'll go ahead and leave it this size because they're all pretty much even and already cut down, and this would be nice to make some card bases, like some layered cards with. So I think I'll just leave that size. It's nice and cut down already. So I think I'm going to work on the strips next. So with these strips, they're all pretty skinny. There are a few like this size that I want to cut down into bookmark size. And so I'm going to gather those first. And I want to cut these down to 2 inches. Okay, so here is a bunch of 2x6 strips for bookmarks. So I'm going to just set those with my piles here. So these measure 5 3/4 by 7.5. So I think I'm going to go ahead and leave them that size since they're all nice and cut down exactly to that size. Stick them over here. So here's all the ones that are 4 1/4 by 12. And with these, I can make those mini accordion albums, and they're so cute, and I have so many options here. So these are mostly all double-sided, and they'd be the cutest little mini accordion albums. So I have a video on that, and I'll link it right here so you can go over and watch it. But that would be great for these scraps. So I'm going to set those aside. And now I have just like random sizes here that I'm just going to kind of cut down, see what I can get out of them. Here are my scraps that I've cut down. Now these are ready to do any projects with. You can do like little mini scrap pages like I was talking about and just layer a bunch of these on here like this and like that and like this, or however you want to do this. For me, I don't know if I'll do that. It sounds fun. Looking at these, I'm inspired to do that, but I think more realistically, I will probably end up using these as card fronts. So I have a ton of this size, 4x6. I'll use these as card fronts, or I will do the trick that I showed you in one of my last videos, which I'll link right here, where you take a 4x6 piece, you fold it in half like this, and you have an instant mini card here, and then you can use 12x12 sheets, cut it into 4 6x6 pieces, and each of those you can make an envelope out of that will fit a 3x4 card. So I'll probably end up doing that, or just using these for different projects, but at least they're cut down, I know what size they are, and I can reach for them. I'm going to make bookmarks out of these 2x6 ones here, and I'll be sure to do a separate video for that, but I do have a bookmark tutorial as well on my channel. I'll link it here for you. These are Project Life card size, so what I'll probably end up doing with these is rounding all the corners and then making my own Project Life cards and for card fronts and things like that. And I can use the stickers that I have left from these collections for that. And then I have a couple different sizes here of 12-inch strips, and I have a ton. Look how much of this paper I have left. So this could be really used for anything, but now it's nice and neat and cut down. Those branding strips are all cut off. And then of course I have these larger pieces. These would be great for card bases, card fronts. Really anything can be done with these. So I'm going to take one of these big clear bags from ClearBags.com, and I'll link the exact one below along with a coupon code. So this one is this here, but I will link it below as well, just in case you want that size. I use this a lot for my 12x12 paper, obviously. So this is, I'm just going to put these in here like that. Peel this like this, and then of course over here it's going to have a little slack. So I'll just put a little piece of tape right here. It's easy to take off and access this paper. Okay, so now I've got all of these all packaged up. This is all my Maggie home scraps from those 3 collections, and I've got them all condensed and ready to just pull out when I need that size card. And I can put this into an iris case and just save these. And I know you're wondering probably what I'm doing with all of these little baby ones that I ended up with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these in their own clear bag just as they are. I'm just going to clean them up just a little bit. Like these here are perfect. So if I'm making a card and I need a little strip, you know, on the side or something, I can go in my little Maggie Home scrap bag and I'll have a whole bunch of different options. And I think I will do a video on how I'm going to use these, kind of challenge myself. So make sure you stay tuned for that video. But I think I'm just going to, like I said, pile these up and just clean them up just a little. And when I say clean them up, I'm just gonna, if they have the branding strip on them, those are the ones that I'm going to cut off and then put the beautiful clean strip in my pile. So I definitely, when I do my mass producing cards, when I create cards that are mass produced, I like to do a formula. And if I have, you know, a bunch of options of strips and things like that that are close to the same size, I can utilize those. And I think that this entire scrap project right now is inspiring me to create a project around all of these scraps. Wouldn't that be fun to make a bunch of, I don't know, journals or cards or even little kits out of all of these scraps with the purpose of making something out of them, not just keeping them around for no reason. So I'm going to keep cleaning these up and get them in a pile, and then I'm going to stick them in a clear bag as well. I'm very inspired to try to find a project that I can make to use these scraps, maybe just pull in a few other items and kind of find a home for all of this. But right now it's much better than it was. It was piles and piles of scraps before, and now I have it all confined into just a few clear bags, and I'll be able to fit this into one iris case, and I'm super happy with it. So I hope this inspires you to save all the scraps, keep them together, combine collections like this, especially if it's by the same artist. They complement each other very well, and this just makes me happy. It's just a bunch of neat stacks of paper that are all organized and cut down. I love that. So again, I hope this inspires you to clean up your scraps and kind of have a new outlook on them. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye!